Behind the Beats with Jess Bowen and Bowie J.
Here we go.
I was accounting.
Yeah.
All right. Hello. It is Bowie Jane with Jess Bowen for Babes Behind the Beats. And boy, do we have an exciting episode today because we have the very exciting guest, Jess Bowen, who has two major announcements, guys. This is big news. Big news.
I love this. I love that I'm a guest on my own show. It's really cool.
We're like, this is the best guest we've ever had.
I'm like, hey, I'm the self-proclaimed best guest on our show. But yes, two big announcements. So I guess I'll just kick it off right away. So the first big announcement is that on August 24th, I have a documentary coming out that I'm featured in. It's called Count Me In, and it's coming out on Netflix. And this was something that I filmed like a few years ago, and I'm featured in there with some drummers, like some of my favorite drummers, like Chad Smith from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Cindy Blackman from Santana, Stephen Perkins of Jane's Addiction. I mean, and then there's like Stuart Copeland from The Police, Roger Taylor from Queen, like all these legendary, amazing, incredible drummers. And somehow I got thrown into that mix, which is...
No, it's huge. It's huge. Like, seriously, this is really, really, really big, guys. You all have to go watch it because this is like the biggest drummers in the world.
Yeah, no, literally. Like throughout the entire documentary, they highlight all of the biggest drummers ever. And I'm so lucky to be a part of it. And the crazy thing is, it's like I was already just like so honored to be a part of it. But I'm even like, if you look it up on Netflix, like I'm kind of like the featured face of the like.
I saw that.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was like, how is this happening right now?
How did that come about, that opportunity?
So the opportunity came about a few years ago, and my managers at the time had hit me up that someone wanted to interview me for a documentary. And I just thought it was going to be a quick, okay, you just do an interview and it'll be part of something, but you know, you're not going to be in that much of it, right?
Yeah.
And then I get in touch with the director, and it turns out that he wanted me to be what they called like a featured character. And so I was literally one of 4 featured characters in it. Like I mentioned, it was Chad Smith, Cindy Blackman, Stephen Perkins, and then me as kind of, you know, I'm like the up and coming kind of character is what you would say. Cause obviously all those drummers are so established.
Yeah.
And have had massive, massive careers. And, you know, I'm definitely amongst, you know, I am the newbie, I guess you would say,
well, yeah,
compared to them.
Actually super experienced, but yeah, a newbie compared to them, perhaps like, wow,
yeah.
I mean, what an opportunity. And
yeah.
So is the documentary sort of going about, like, what exactly happens in it? How long does it go for?
So the documentary itself is about, oh my gosh, I can't remember exactly. I want to say it's like an hour and a half. And it really just kind of starts back from, it takes you through the stories of like, you know, from the biggest drummers like John Bonham and like Ringo Starr and how they kind of like shaped rock drumming for like other drummers and kind of like, you just have a bunch of these drummers come together and talk about their influences and how like rhythm connects everyone.
Yeah.
It really, like the director really wanted to focus on how like rhythm like is the driving force, and it's like what connects people together. And it's very cool. I'm definitely not doing any justice by like explaining this. I'm not explaining it well. I'm like, it's a drum documentary. But it's
what's it called so we can all look it up?
It's called Count Me In. And again, it came out on August 24th. So you can check it out right now on Netflix. And I'm pretty sure it is streaming everywhere, to my knowledge, not just like in the US.
Yeah,
so
that's insane. And then share it on all your Instagram pages. Let's like get this happening.
Yeah. No, I'm very, very, very excited about it. And yeah, it's just so funny because I feel like, you know, like I said, I had filmed this a few years ago, and I had kept in touch with the director, and he was always just like, you know, I don't, you know, it's not coming out yet. I don't know. I'll let you know when it comes out. And then it was COVID, and so they had put that, you know, they were in all the film festivals during COVID. And they were at like Cannes and like all the biggest film festivals and stuff. But he never told me that they got the deal, you know, the distribution through Netflix. And I just happened to, you know how I found out was actually a fan of mine from Australia sent me a screenshot of it.
See, our Aussie's dedicated.
Yeah, no, she literally was like, hey, is this you? And like sends me a screenshot of it said like coming soon. And it was a picture of me at the top and it says like count me in. And I was like,
Wow.
what? So I like emailed the director immediately and I was like, yo, you didn't tell me that this was coming out. And like, cool.
Was the director like, whoops?
He was even kind of like, how did you find out? And I was like, someone sent me a screenshot. And he was like, okay, let me talk to my like press people.
He
and
probably hadn't even announced it.
yeah, like, cause I don't think he had done an announcement about it yet.
Oh, shit.
And so, yeah, it's just like so funny how things work. It's like things come out and people don't even know about it till it's actually out there in the world. And you're like, there it is.
I know. It's crazy. Oh my God. Well, this is so exciting. I can't wait to watch it. And you all have to watch it. Netflix.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, that is the first big announcement.
Okay, so that was the first announcement. Now, come on. What is the second announcement?
Drum roll, please.
This is a non-drummer doing that.
Well, the Somerset, my band, we are back together officially.
Guys, I can't believe it.
Yeah, I can't believe it either.
No, seriously, how did this happen? Because you have been on a hiatus since 2017, is that right?
Yeah, it was 2017.
Yeah. I mean, and so what brought you back together and why?
Yeah. So I guess we could just start there. I mean, yeah, we broke up / hiatus was 2017. And then I guess, just fast forward to December of this past year. So December 2020.
Yeah.
I was messaging like Brian and Steven a lot. And like we were going to meet up because I was back in Arizona for the holidays. And that's where they have been located. And so we were like all going to meet up when I met up with them separately. And then I get a text a few days later, maybe even a day later after hanging out with Brian. And then I had hung out with Steven a few days before. And he goes, Jess, we have something we need to tell you. And I was like, uh-oh.
Who's we?
Him and Steven. And he basically was like, we've been working on wanting to do Somerset stuff. And me and Steven like have this song. They sent me this song. And I was like, you guys are fucking with me, right? Like, this isn't really, like, we're not getting back together. This is just, like, you guys wanted to make some music, and this is a good song and all, but, like, you're messing with me, right? And they were like, no, we just, like, wanted to have something to show you guys first and hopefully get you guys excited about it. And I was like, okay. And I was genuinely excited, but I was also kind of like in disbelief that I still didn't think it was going to happen. I was like, cool, like that's great.
Yeah.
Like glad that there's a song that exists, but he hadn't even none of us had talked to, there was John and then Josh was the other member of the band. Like with none of them had been talked to yet either.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, I mean, talk to them and then we'll talk. Basically, they talked to John and they talked to Josh, and so that kind of leads me into this, is that we are getting back together, but Josh, our original guitarist, is not going to be joining us for this new release. And
why is that?
I think he had just moved on in his career and in his life, and I think he's just happy and he's just, set with how things are going right now and just didn't feel like he wanted to do it again. And I respect his decision. I'm like, if someone doesn't want to do it, they don't want to do it. And, he kind of told me like, if you want to do it, like, yeah, you guys have my blessing. But like, go ahead. But he just didn't want to go back and do it again.
That's awesome. So he was on guitar. So
yes.
For those who maybe aren't familiar with the Somerset, which wouldn't be many, but let's go through the band. Brian
is our singer.
Yep.
And then John is our guitarist, Steven, bass player. I play drums.
And Steven and Brian are brothers?
No, Steven and John are brothers.
Steven and John.
Yes, Steven and John are the brothers, and everyone thinks they kind of look like twins now.
Because they're all kind of
They look
a bit similar.
They do.
Thought they all look like brothers.
Well, John and Steven specifically, like as we've gotten older, I'm like, you guys have just grown into like the same person.
Yeah.
It feels like the way
that is crazy, because when I've seen photos and I'm like, oh yeah, maybe they're triplets. I was thinking.
Yeah, that's what you would think. Yeah, no, so yeah, for people who aren't familiar, that is the lineup of the band, and then Steven and John as well, like do a lot of production. So Steven has been doing producing our songs. So we've been able to record all just in-house, which has been great because it's really just been the four of us getting together, writing and recording. And it's just nice. It's it's like bringing it back to like the old days when it was like you just get in a room together and you write.
Yeah,
and, like,
with the band, not with writers. Like,
yeah,
you
like
know.
we've been keeping it like in-house, and then, recently I will say that we had like expanded and started bringing in like one or two other writers with us, but it's like all of us
interesting.
in a room together, and that's just been really great because again, we have the ability to do it on our own because John and Steven both produce, and so it's just been making it easier for us
So
to write
good.
together.
Yeah, I think that's good when you're producing it yourself. Then you're not relying on someone else, and you can all have a go at. Well, you can always all give you comments.
Yeah, no, it's been really great. So, but yeah, I guess so. To backtrack, that's kind of how it came about. Was getting a text about doing it again, and then having the conversations with everyone, and then the four of us agreed that we wanted to do it, and so then we just started booking writing trips. Like I went back to Arizona. Because John and I are based in LA. And Steven and Brian are based in Arizona. And so we would travel. So we would go to Arizona and then vice versa. The Arizona ones would come out here to LA.
So this has all been secretly going on.
It's been secretly going on. I will say, I think the boys aren't as good at keeping a secret as I am, though, because so many people, like Cassadee Pope, for instance, who was a guest of our show, she texted me because I had done like a clubhouse with her recently.
Yeah.
And she had texted me being like, hey, by the way, congrats on, the Somerset getting back together. Like, would you like to do a clubhouse with me? And I was like, wait, hold on, back up. What do you mean congrats on escape? Who told you? How did you find out? And
how did she find out?
She said it was like through an industry friend or something.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I feel like I kept it really under wraps.
Yeah.
Whereas like the boys were just like, yeah, we're back together, going around telling everyone. And I was like, no, stop telling people. But whatever. I mean, obviously now the secret's out, and I couldn't be more excited.
So excited. And how did it feel to be back in the room? So obviously you've had like nearly 4 years off.
Yeah.
And then to be back in the room writing together, was it like, oh shit, this is like the old days?
Yeah. I mean, at first it was definitely like surreal. Like I feel like we walked into a room, and then like for me, I think I took a second where I looked around at everyone and I was like, whoa, this is weird. We're all in our 30s now, and we're back in a room together writing music.
Because you've done 4 albums together.
Yeah,
That's
we had
a
4
lot.
albums, and we started playing together, like especially me and the Gomez brothers. We'd been playing together since middle school.
Yeah.
So it's weird to have had, the 5 years off basically, and then to come back. I mean, it's kind of like riding a bike, I would say. It's like, yeah, you come back and it feels a little weird at first, but then you're like, just feels right and normal again.
You all know each other so well because you've toured, like you were touring at 18.
Yeah, we started touring when we were teens. So we had, 18 till I was basically 28 when we stopped. So
Yeah.
10 years of touring together.
And that is why Jess Bowen's rider is extensive.
That is why my rider is, I need
Puppies.
a masseuse, I need puppies, I need my own CrossFit coach. No.
Oh, yeah, she knows all about the tricks of touring. We've had guests come on and they're like, oh, that's a good idea. Yeah.
I know. And then I'm stealing their ideas too and just
Yeah.
making it more extensive.
Oh, that's so good. Now, so what's the music sound like? Does it sound different to how it used to be? Because how would you describe your music before versus now, or maybe it's the same?
I feel like I'm trying to think of how to describe it. I'm so bad at describing things the right way, I feel like. But
Like it felt like pop rock.
it's definitely pop rock, but it's still
Before.
also going back to our roots of like, I don't want to say pop punk at all, but like we kind of fused together the first 2 albums with like the last 2 albums. Cause like, I'll say like our 3rd album, Legendary, was super pop, like all very produced, you know what I mean? And
Which album was that?
that was called Legendary. It was
The-
our 3rd
The
album.
3rd, right? So
And
you
so
started to head more pop.
We started heading more pop with that 3rd album. The 4th album was again kind of a mix, and so now this 5th album that we're working on, and this single that we are putting out, it's called Street Lightning, is definitely, to me, it's like a mix of all of our albums kind of combined, but then also more mature.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like Lauren, my fiance, like she just says like, you guys just sound more mature. She's
Isn't
like, it
that
sounds
funny?
exactly like you guys. Like this sounds like the Somerset, but more mature. And I'm like, that's cool. That's
actually great.
That's what artists want, right? You're
Yeah.
like, we still want our sound to be like, you don't want to just come back and have a completely different sound.
Yeah.
Um,
Instrumentals.
Yeah, all of
It's
a
just
sudden we're like
drum solos.
like a hardcore band. I'm just playing like double bass, like, like
Yeah. Jess is like, I'm only getting back at the band if there's a lot of solos.
if I can do blast beats the entire time, then I'm in.
They're like, oh, all right.
They're
I
like,
guess.
damn, all right, how do we write over blast beats? Let's see.
Oh, so exciting. I'm like freaking wetting my pants with excitement.
Yeah, it's really exciting. And the new music, this song Street Lightning, I mean, you heard it. I played it for you.
It's freaking good, guys.
Yeah.
It's really, really, really good. It gave me chills.
I love that.
That's how good it is.
That's really cool. Like, see, I like that. I like that people, and a couple people that I've known have said that to me. They're like, I got chills when I listened to it. I'm like, that's awesome.
Yeah, I did because it's got a lot of different elements to it. It's kind of complex, but it's still easy to understand. You know?
Right, exactly.
So that's good. So now, does that mean you've got an album coming out as well?
So we will be releasing an album in 2022. So that's what we've been working on. And, we've got a handful of songs. Our plan was to take our time. We didn't know when we were going to announce, or if we were even going to announce that we were back together. We were kind of just writing music and seeing what happened with it.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, so now we have to rush everything. So then we started like trying to logistically figure out, okay, so well, if we're going to announce that we're back together, we got to release a song. We got to take new photos. We got to get, artwork done. We've got to do a music video. Like, we've got to come back.
So what was it like doing things like photo shoots? You had a photo shoot with one of our
guests. So Jordan Kelsey Knight, who we loved, and we interviewed her. I mean, just love her to death. We took our promo photos with her.
Cool.
And
that's so cool.
It was great. She makes things so easy, and her photos are just incredible.
And you guys work well together in a photo shoot, don't you? Like,
I think because, again, it's like I said, it's like riding a bike. Like, once you get back together, it's like, okay, this is what we do. This is easy. Like, I feel like I went through all the photos and I was like, wow, I like almost every single one of these.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like there were like bad photos. And normally it's like you got to go through and be like, okay, which ones do I like? But it was just, we just felt so like natural back together.
Oh my God, it's meant to be.
Yeah, no, it was cool. It was really great. And she had this great studio out in like, I want to say it was like Glendale area. And it was
in
just
Los Angeles.
Yeah, in LA. And it was just beautiful. Like this amazing studio that she rented out. So we were taking photos in the studio and then also did some outdoor shots. And very excited about those photos.
And
Love them.
and then you've got to do it because you're releasing a single. Then there's the music video. So
yeah,
what's involved with that?
So we basically are doing everything ourselves too. I don't think I mentioned that, but like we're funding everything ourselves because technically right now, like we're not on a label. We just wanted to do this independently. So we are funding our own video. And so that's what you will see is it's literally just us that we came up with this idea of the video and we were like, okay, this is what we're going to do.
Perfect.
And so, so everything is very much like done independently and with our own money, because we were like, well,
you can, I think these
days.
And you
can these days. Yeah.
Back when you were 18, no, maybe not.
Right.
Definitely not.
No. Yeah. When we were then, we didn't have the money to fund it ourselves, but now it's like, okay, there's 4 of us. We can put in X amount of money to fund this for now. And we know that we're going to get that return.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so after the music video, after the song's released, and then are you going to do a tour? Like, what's the plan?
Yeah, I think the plan is, again, it's still all very new and up in the air. We're kind of taking everything just like step by step, which is right now it was just like the announcement that we're back together and the single that's coming out.
Yeah.
And I think from there, like we're still just writing a ton of music, trying to get the best songs that we can to put together an album. And then we'll probably think about the touring because I don't think the touring can't come till we have the album.
Yeah, because you've got an amazing booking agent. You're with CAA, right?
Yeah, so our booking agent, Mike Marquis and Matt Galley, who they were previously at Paradigm. Like when we were signed with them, they were at Paradigm. And just recently they moved over to CAA. So I guess because of that,
You're with the biggest agents in the world.
Yeah, no, they're amazing. They rep like anyone and everyone you could think of.
Oh, well, I'm so excited. I mean, everyone's going to be so excited. If you're excited, make sure you comment on all our posts and just tell Jess how excited you are.
I'm excited. I'm still not, doesn't feel like reality to me yet. It still hasn't sunk in.
Yeah.
Yet. But I think it will. It will eventually. Once we're back on the road, like you said, like when we're touring maybe again, I'm be like, damn, this is crazy. We're doing this again.
And is there anyone you'd want to open for, or would you you'd be doing festivals yourself?
Oh my gosh, I wonder. I mean, I know that we'd probably be wanting to do the festivals, like, of course, everyone wants to play festivals. We love playing festivals.
Yeah.
But to open for someone, I mean, gosh, obviously like our friends in All Time Low, like we've toured with them before and they're doing amazing right now,
Yeah.
especially on radio. Like they're getting so much radio success. So like that would just be for me like a no-brainer to like open for them because we've already toured together in the past and we have that friendship and we have such a huge crossover of fans. So that would be huge. And then maybe someone like 21 Pilots, I guess. Because again,
Wow.
I'm thinking like, and I don't know if that would necessarily even work, but I know Josh, the drummer, and I think it'd be fun to go on tour together with them. But also they're just like, again, one of the biggest acts out there in the world right now. So why
Huge.
not like go open for one of the biggest acts?
And same
you know?
genre, essentially.
Yes, yeah, pretty much. I mean, again, we would have a lot of crossover fans, but like they are obviously way beyond. They're a massive, massive, massive band. So that would just be a cool experience because they at a whole other level.
Yeah.
So,
And does that mean you're going to be on tour buses? Because we have talked about the bus layouts a number of times on our show.
yeah. I mean, that's how we usually tour. But I don't know. I mean, again, it's been 5 years.
No,
I don't
that's
know.
what I mean. Now you're older.
Now we're older. I don't know if we're gonna do like with some of the artists I play with. We don't always do buses. We do like a Sprinter van, and then we get hotels every night, which is also just as comfortable because you're in a hotel room every night.
Yeah.
And I think it's a little bit more. I guess it just depends on the tour. Depends on the length of the tour, and it depends on the budget.
And
too.
if you're driving at night.
Yeah, because of course, like we don't really want to be driving overnight, but that's the thing is normally you'd stay in hotels and then just wake up early and drive if you have like a long drive or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean the way we toured before was always in buses. At least that was like towards the end of our like the last few years of our touring was always in tour buses.
Yes, I already know which bed I need to be on if I'm on a tour bus.
Yeah, which one is it again that we told you?
Is it the middle?
It's definitely the middle.
The middle back?
So
because you don't want to be close to the party.
Yeah. So the front is, and normally the bathrooms are in the front. So you also don't want to be like, I don't know. For me, it's like I just don't want to be like
near
the
you're not allowed
bathroom.
to poo. You're not allowed to poo on the
Nope,
bus.
you can't do number 2 on the bus. That is the rule, and you can't put toilet paper down the toilet.
Yes, I heard the middle back because then it's not too hard to put your bags in.
Yes, that's the thing.
Yeah.
You don't because like the top bunk, you got to climb into it, and then you got to climb out of it and putting things in it. Yeah, the bottom, if you're like putting stuff in your bunk, you're bending down the whole time. It's just like the middle's just the way to go,
I'm a good learner.
Yeah, you are. You're quick. Now you're like, oh, that middle bunk, that's mine.
I'm also going to be a nightmare to tour with. I'll be like getting there days early to secure my bed.
To get your bunk. That is a stressful thing, is like having to be like, that is my bunk. Like trying to like fight over it.
Oh, well, this is like so exciting. I can't wait to see you on stage with this stuff. And I bet so many people can't wait to. And the songs are so good. I'm so excited.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm very excited to be doing it again. And like, the thing I miss the most about touring is just like meeting people, like meeting the fans that came to the shows and stuff. So I'm just like excited for that too.
Yeah, it's very exciting. So, and one last thing, you have to tell me now all your handles and website and all that kind of stuff.
I get to give you the handles. Okay, so the Instagram handles. So for myself, obviously it's just at Jess Bowen on all platforms. And then for the Somerset, we have the Somerset on Twitter at the Somerset. And then on Instagram, this is the one thing that's annoying. At _summer_set. There is a kid, I forget his name, Mike or Mark or something, that has owned our Instagram handle, and we need him to get rid of it. So actually, if people can go DM him and tell him to give up the handle, that'd be great. Because he literally has 2 followers and is inactive. And we're like, and you have to that person has to give up the handle for you to take it. And he just like hasn't. So
come on, what's his name?
Mike or Mark, something
Come on,
like
Mike
that.
or Mark.
Come on, Mike or
Give it
Mark.
up.
Just please. So everyone go check out our actual official handle is at the _summer_set. But yeah, you can go bother Mike or Mark about the other handle.
All right, well, go follow Jess and the Somerset. And we are so excited to have you on the show. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me on our show. I had so much fun.